Now, when do you feel like you got your first big break?
Oh, um, my first big break. Uh, okay, I'm pulled. I'm pulled with this because for me, I was in a weird position where a lot of my artwork, unfortunately, happened around the same time. So while The Deuce came out, Power came out shortly after. Um, no, actually, while Power came out, The Deuce came out shortly after. But The Deuce was technically one of the first projects that I've ever done that was like on a bigger scale, professional scale. And I was on both of those sets at the same time. And as The Deuce was wrapping up, Wu Tang stepped in and I started doing our self reads or our table reads around the same time. And so a lot of my momentum, a lot of my big break moment is a big correlation of just having all of the synchronicities happen at one time for each show. Everyone that is in Power, that was like the biggest show to them at the time. We made a field day of it. We had so much fun with it. They would come up to me and they would say, "Oh my God, you got Tyreek killed," or "Oh my God, I hate you so much." And that was just something that started on social. I sent it to friends, like, "Yo, can you send this? Can you put this?" I sent it to a couple people from my school, and they posted it, and it just picked up. It was just a big field day because they didn't post it as, "Oh, she asked me to share this." They posted it as them saying it themselves, and they're like, "Yeah, I blame her," or "She's the problem," or "She's this, that, and the third." And it just took off, and it was the most fun thing I've ever experienced with any of the shows. And I honestly think that because of that momentum and the fun we had with that show, it allowed all the next couple of projects that I was on to have some type of sustained energy and sustained, momentum. It kind of like was a choo-choo train that took off to the fun that I had with Power, because obviously that would be unfair knowing that it all happened at the same time. But the big break moment was that season. I would say maybe from 2015 to 2019, greatest like 4-year shift ever because it was just so much fun. I still don't feel like I've been a breakout actor yet or actress yet, though. That was a very small scale. It gave me a taste of like how much fun it could really be. But I think that was just because I came from when we're nagging at each other about things. It's still like we're on this mission together to do really good, and they just picked me up. They picked me up in the weirdest way by making me the villain of it, but they picked it up and it was a lot of fun. And I'm hoping that I can still get like an action role or something really big so that this way I can pursue my mega star breakout. But we'll see because I'm also getting older. Time's a ticking. So yeah.
Oh yeah, man, that's major. I mean, to be a part of something like that in any capacity is just amazing because so many people dream about, being a part of the Power universe. Like you say, they done added on so many different shows and they done accomplished so many accolades. And for you to have a, you know, polarizing role like that and go viral and have people, chanting and, following along, that's amazing. Yeah. I gotta ask you.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I don't know where I got that, and that's why people were like, "Oh, I don't know who she thinks she is. She's ugly. She's short. She's fat. She's pompous," and I was just like, "I'm having fun." Like they making this a thing, then I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna ride that wave, and we're gonna have fun. And I didn't realize that kids watched the show or any of those things. So I learned so much throughout that time. I really did. I didn't think the kids would gravitate towards it. So when I tell you I was behind the scenes going to these schools and these these auditoriums and on these stages, I was telling my teammates, I was like, they probably don't watch the show. They probably don't know who this is. They're probably not gonna like. Are you sure you want me to go? What am I gonna say? How am I gonna motivate them? I'm not a motivational speaker. I don't do this. Like, I don't have a song to sing right now. I mean, I do, but I don't want to sing it. Like, they're gonna be like, "What is this?" Like, it was so many different emotions at one time, and then they're like, "Shut up," and they just push me out there, and I'm like, "Okay, pow." And people think like, oh, you're being an a-hole, you're just trying to show off. But it was like, no, like the things that you see me say were the things that I felt compelled to say once the chanting started to come. But the only reason I wanted to do the chanting was because that was the first thing that came to my mind. When I was speaking to the kids, I was also speaking to myself. When I was telling them, remember, be confident, be cheerful, be charming, I was talking to myself. I was reminding myself of why I was deserving to go up there. So when I was like, say power, I wanted to engage them. It kind of, the more they were engaged in it, the more I realized that I had the freedom to have fun with it. I didn't want them to be quiet and mute like. So I was just like, what could I do to make them feel like this is their world too and they're a part of it? I'm like, this, you say that, and that was the only thing that I could think. And people were like, it's so smart, but I was just like, I honestly did it out of just not wanting to not say anything and have a deer in the headlight moment.
Okay, I can dig it. I know you got moves to make, so I'm not gonna hold you up. I'm on a Zoom call, so you know they got a time limit on here. I really, really appreciate you coming on the podcast. It's definitely been an honor. You did a phenomenal job in Power, Woo, very beautiful. Continue the great work. I'm sure you're gonna get that action role soon and very soon. So I want to ask you, I guess my last question is, do you have any upcoming projects that you could speak about? You know, even if it's not acting, maybe music, a book, a documentary, a podcast, anything doing with media or entertainment?
To be fair, to be very fair, I have a lot of people, or I used to last year, I had a lot of people reach out to me about working on projects, music, videos, scripts, and I have to give them the time and space to make those things realize and materialize it in this world because I think it takes a lot of time. People go through a lot of different things. So the answer is almost always yes. I have a new acting gig coming up. But I just never know when or how long or far or what's gonna happen. And I hate to jinx things. So I always say like knock on wood or something so that this way it still comes into fruition. But at this time, no, I don't have a set project or date that I can discuss. I want to talk about Spot Your Space. Spot Your Space is my location scouting certification module. It's the first one of the nation for specialized certification for location scouting. And if you guys are ever interested in doing something unique and different and still getting your time back, your freedom back, I would love to talk to you more about that. We can always do a reschedule or replay to continue the conversation. I have my own elation guide, dream journals, happiness guidebook, a youthful lifestyle, maintaining youthful lifestyle guidebook. All of that is available on my site. I have my charitable organization, which is DUTF, stands for Trade for Social. So there are always tons of products and merch associated with that. My Love You Black Man merch that's always associated on my on my websites. So yes, thank you so much for asking. That's just the companies that I've started recently and that I've been trying to push. So any donations are great and just little things like that. I think there's always something fun and new there for you guys.
Okay, wow, that sounds major. I definitely look forward to seeing all of that, you know, coming to fruition. I mean, you made it this far, so you know what I'm saying. The hardest part, I feel like you already done, you know, accomplished that. So, you know, hopefully the viewers will tune in and show you support and check out, you know, the different ventures you got. And so I just want to thank you one more time before we get out of here, before Zoom cut off. You know, keep up the great work, and thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate that.
All right, all right. Peace, Queen. Be safe out there, and I'll send you the links and stuff once I edit everything up. All right.
Bye.
Ciao.